Mr. Karamo Mente, Regional Agricultural Director for North Bank Region, welcome to the Checkpoint.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Mente, let's start by looking at the production input for 2024, as in the cropping season. What has your region received in the form of input support for farmers?
The input support that we have received, for farmers is diverse, because I think we have three main projects, that have provided input support to farmers. If I can name them, the Roots project is one of them. The Giraffe project is another one. GAPSI project is another project that has provided input support to the farmers. And the Rice Value Chain Transformation project, all these projects are under the Ministry of Agriculture. They have contributed in one way or the other towards alleviating the input need of farmers in this region. If I may start with Giraffe. Giraffe has provided maize seed and rice seed, mainly to the farmers of North Bank region. The Rice Value Chain Transformation project also provided rice for the farmers. GAPSI provided rice, maize, peanut, that's groundnut, cowpea to farmers in large quantities. All these projects have contributed in alleviating seed particularly to farmers, in supporting seeds, to farmers.
Mr. Mente, what is the level of production if you have instituted any monitoring mechanism of such interventions?
Yes, before answering that question, I would say that it's over 15,000 farmers in combination.
That has benefited?
That has benefited.
From the input support?
Input seed support
Okay.
from the various projects.
Great.
The level of production I would expect has enlarged this year. We have increased the level of, in terms of acreage, has increased. Simply because some of these seeds are improved seeds varieties. They are not traditional seed varieties, early maturing seed varieties. Some of them, let's say for instance, maize variety. We have what we call the hybrid maize variety that can mature within a period of 45 to 60 days. Okay. So it's a very good thing, and it is very much nutritious. As we know, when we define food security, we look at the nutritional aspect of food security. Not what we consume, but the quality of what people consume needs to be considered. So this hybrid maize is so nutritious that actually, if farmers know the value of it, can enhance nutritional status of farmers in general, particularly pregnant women, breastfeeding women, and the lactating women. Those are the communities or the category of social category that are mostly affected, by malnutrition.
With that, let's now focus on the season proper, because what is the level of crop cultivation and performance in your region?
Yeah, crop performance is moderately impressive. If you can recall, we've experienced some drought spells here and there, but the distribution is not evil. When you go to lower Nyomi, upper Nyomi, the level of production there as far as crop performance is very impressive. Simply because those we are lucky to receive the second rain that we have received, and most farmers even planted groundnut and maize with their early millet. The dry spell does not significantly affect crop performance as far as North Bank is concerned. I've heard of it in other regions, but as far as North Bank is concerned, the drought spell, may have little, impact on crop performance in general. And as you know, groundnut is our cash crop. The amount of groundnut we received this year from projects is very minimal. But the existence of seed growers within North Bank, because North Bank can be proud of having big-time farmers. I know of a farmer who cultivated about 26 tons of decorticated groundnut. 26 tons. One farmer. 26 tons of groundnut, decorticated, certified. And they have sold this groundnut to farmers on a very affordable price. Some projects bought seed from these farmers for redistribution into to the common farmers, especially resource-poor farmers.
That farmer must be, is it the champion farmer of the region?
He's not. He's one of the champion farmers of the region.
You mean there are others who...
There are others who can do equally like him, and even more than him.
Meaning with a little push in the North Bank region, you'll transform, the region will be transformed to food basket.
Yes, of course. What most of these farmers, resourceful farmers, need is guidance. I could remember this particular farmer I'm talking about. I came to this region last year by this time. But it's through my guidance, this farmer was able to register a cooperative society. He was able to register his company, a business enterprise, business enterprise. He was also able to register with the National Seed Secretariat as a seed grower. It's of recent that the National Seed Secretariat Director General visited his farm.
Interesting. Now, this question will draw me to, meaning there is hope that harvest might be excellent in the North Bank region?
Yes, there is hope that harvest might be excellent. I'm sure if you are, when you are coming from Banjul, if you are looking around, you'll see green fields, both left and right. That's a clear manifestation, of an insight of a bumper harvest, come this harvest season.
Well, we just from interviewing your governor, and he said he has 3 hectare and 7 hectare of both groundnut and coos. The governor himself is very active.
He's a model farmer. Farming is not a downgraded profession. It has come to a time when people's mindset must change. It is not aware of, let's say, subsistence agriculture where you feed. Sometimes you cannot feed yourself because land holdings are very small. But with the transformation process led by the Minister of Agriculture, commercializing agriculture means increase in the number of hectares being produced by the farmer. And the approach the Ministry of Agriculture is using as far as projects are concerned is all-inclusive approach to agricultural development. When I say all-inclusive approach to agricultural development, I mean regarding the various social strata that are engaging in agricultural production, being the poor, the resourceful, the differently able people, women, youth, all inclusive. And the production is not for production to get the volume of produce, but how can we produce and transform this produce into marketable products that can enhance the income of farmers. And when I talk about that, I mean processing the produce into other products. For instance, maize can be processed into winning foods. You can process maize into animal feed. You can process rice also, and you add value to rice to get a market for it, so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to feed yourself as well as generating income or revenue for your family to cater some of your social needs. This is the stance of agriculture as I speak to you now.
Director Minte, according to what we gathered, you are also a farmer.
Yes, I'm a farmer, even if I don't burn and then cultivate the land. You know, when you talk about food security, it's not a matter of producing alone food. The affordability of food must be with the person who seeks to feed his family. When you look at the number of farmers, in comparison with the total population of this country, farmers contribute about 90 or 85, some will say, or 90%, 75% of the population. But among those farmers, how many farmers can feed themselves?
Good question. Good question.
The answer is few. This is why this commercial aspect of farmers, empowering farmers to have access to microfinance, empowering farmers to have access to production equipment, to enhancing farmers with the knowledge and skills that can enhance their performance in the field. All these are strategies that have been rolled out by the Ministry of Agriculture and its line projects.
Can you give us an overview of the various projects that are operating in your region?
Yes, if I can start with giraffe. Giraffe, you know, as I speak to you now, I was just from a screening process of individuals who have applied for matching grant. Some have applied a tune of starter capital over $1 million, 1.5 million.
That is starter capital.
Yes, various categories exist. And this matching grant, the project is providing 80% of the total cost of your sub-project.
Let's pause here. What type of farmers are these? Are they into commercial farming or just subsistential farming? The category of people.
The concept of
no, the one you're talking about here.
Yeah, I'm saying
yes.
Generally,
okay.
All these projects are commercial farmers because they want to change the mindset of the people from the traditional way of doing things to the commercial-oriented agriculture. That's what takes a nation forward. And they work on various, value chain. Value chain have stages. You can be a producer of maize. You are still on the value chain of maize. You can be a processor of maize. You are a value chain, actor of maize. Mm-hmm. You can be a dealer of maize, a trader. You are still a value chain actor on maize. You can become a transporter of maize produce. You still a value chain actor of maize. So these beneficiaries that I'm talking about are from these value chain cadres. They have applied it, and we're going to screen them at a regional level, and it will go to national level for further screening, and they will be awarded acceptance of their sub-projects. And they have devised a system, a beautiful system so far for them. Instead of giving you the money, they have identified some microfinance organizations, Giraffe, for instance, who are ready to help these farmers, with a minimal interest rate. Because, over the years, the problem with agriculture, as far as, agricultural financing is concerned, is high interest. So these microfinance institutions are going to work with these groups so that they can access their money in kind, not physically giving them the money. They look for skills in a particular walk of life who will guide them to identify, if at all, is procurement, the right equipment, and the money will be paid to the supplier of that material for onward transmission to the beneficiary.
Not the other way.
Not the other way, where farmers or individuals, groups will be given cash, and at the end of the day, they will not utilize the cash, in issues that the money were meant to have.
Let's move on. Giraffe apart, which other project is also making a headway?
If I'm going to talk about giraffe, I think your 25 minutes will exhaust
We're
it.
not going to.
But there's one important thing that I want to say. A couple of months ago, 28 groups benefited.
28 groups.
28 groups in North Bank. We came out,
selected from different
different communities, yes. It's called a group matching grant. The award ceremony was held in the governor's office here. And, as we speak now, Giraffe is about, in fact, that contract award is being given now, what we call women-led agribusiness farms. The women-led agribusiness farms are modern farms. The drudgery in the routine chores of women is a hindrance to the performance of women, especially in the gardens. This time around, they say, well, instead of you taking your bucket and then go and fetch water from the tap or from the reservoir, we're going to install a drip way form of irrigation, or a sprinkler way of irrigation. That's a plus on the Ministry of Agriculture.
Okay, absolutely. Now, you have other projects also operating within the region.
The Roots project also is one of them.
Okay, let's briefly touch on them as we move on.
The Roots projects, over the years has provided. They also have a facility called the matching grant.
Matching grant. Oh, okay.
Roots also has a component of matching grant. Matching grant, post-production matching grant. Not actually into production, but if you want a processing machine, maybe maize processing, rice processing machine, you can apply. If you want a tricycle, three-wheeler motorcycles, you can apply. If you want a processing equipment, you can also apply. Various forms of processing equipment you can apply. And they are empowering farmers also at the size of production. 7 to 9 communities, if my memory can serve me well, has benefited a matching grant in the form of plowing services. They provide free plowing service, not actually free. They also, you have to contribute 20% of the total expenses. They have given them fertilizer, they have given them, herbicide, and they have given them protective gears also. Some communities benefited over 90 hectares, some 70 hectares, some 60 hectares. So it's another project that is getting, the way that we want things to be.
We cannot exit or finish talking about all these projects because I know they're doing great. Because by the look of the way you portray yourself shows that the projects are doing well in your region.
Yeah, GAPSIF also is another project.
Okay,
a fantastic project. Some people might say, well, I'm just a griot. I just want to talk nice things about projects. But no, these are realities. I'm living with the farmers here, and I know what they are doing. I'm not over exaggerating things. Some people might think that actually, maybe money is talking. No, I'm the regional director. I know what they are doing.
Absolutely.
I'm just from distributing fertilizer from GAPSIF. Free fertilizer so far to farmers. Free. They've done, free fertilizer for farmers. And they're also supporting the school feeding program. We have what we call aggregators in this region. Aggregators who have signed a contract with the WFP, World Food Program, because the homegrown school feeding program is a program designed so that we'll be able to feed our schools with minimal outside reliance.
Mr. Minter, can one say your region cannot be left out, or is not even is the driving force for food self-sufficiency in this country?
I would hope so, and even of other regions, if they can articulate well what the projects are doing for the Gambian farmers. It's a matter of how you are able to express yourself. Sometimes you can have the idea, to express it, it becomes a problem. But this is not unique to North Bank region alone. It's across the board.
Meanwhile, how is staff performance in your region, but also capacity building?
As far as capacity building is concerned, it's a lifetime activity. So long as you are in active service, your capacity needs to be, developed gradually, time to time. And all these projects are doing that. I mentioned, I think I may forget to mention to you that, we want to digitalize agricultural information management system.
For the first time in the history of the country.
Even if it is not the first time, but this is the first time, excellent strides are taken towards achieving that goal.
Digitalization?
Yes. Yeah, you can now know from the project headquarters the number of farmers who have benefited from these various inputs that I'm talking about.
Meaning with a click you can...
Yeah, with a click you can know, especially that of giraffe projects. GAPSIP also is endeavoring, and I know Roots also, they have started doing that. So duplication of efforts will be avoided. So the project would know actually who are the farmers who have benefited from maize and who were able to have access to fertilizer. So these are all, developments, that can enhance the general performance of the sector.
And this cannot happen when capacity is not built.
It's not built. Because all this inputting and other things are done by the extension workers who have given, who were capacitized in that area for that matter, with, concurrent training that can boost their performance.
We almost
the only problem we may have as far as extension workers are concerned is the extension farmer ratio of the region. Because when you talk about agricultural extension delivery, you mean monitoring. Your contact hours, should be increased so that the impact will be felt. But that contact hours is minimal simply because the extension farmer ratio is too low. We need more extension workers so that, hard-reached farmers will be reached. And the extension delivery becomes easy.
Now, Mr. Minte, we're almost running out of time. Let's briefly, before we end this interview, look at the orientation of farmers towards commercial agriculture. Is the narrative shifting in your region?
It is shifting. In fact, it is the new paradigm. Farmers are thinking positively now. Farming is not a it's not a low, professional endeavor. No. If I can tell you, you have farmers who can buy more than 100 bags of fertilizer from their own money. You have some farmers now who are ready to invest in agriculture with or without the assistance of the government or the projects. We have such farmers. I know of a farmer who is building a mansion. I can say, a cottage from the region here.
Mr. Minte, finally, before we take leave of you, you can just look at your camera and finally, what plans, and tell the people of the region, especially the country, particularly the country, let me say, what other plans you have towards leveraging the set targets of national food security?
The addition of what we call crop insurance. To heighten to mitigate against certain risks. It's a new thing, but the thinking is coming into existence. Agriculture is very volatile. There are certain factors farmers don't have control over it. But crop insurance can be as a social safety net for investors in agriculture. And this is a major plan, for the department and the minister at large. Before we end the interview, I must pay homage to my parent Ministry of Agriculture, the Honorable Minister, the Permanent Secretary, and all senior staff there. If I may second it, is my Director General of Agriculture and all project directors for creating this enabling environment for us in the field here to deliver our common aspirations of attaining food security in this country. I take this opportunity to tell all of them that we are grateful. Let the flag of agriculture rise into the skies. Thank you.
Mr. Minde, thank you very much for coming on the channel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.